Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday, and oh my god, it feels so good to be back. If anybody was wondering where I've been for the past week and a half, I've been on a little vacation. It's been nice. I went out to Ohio last Wednesday. No, not last Wednesday, the Wednesday beforehand, not last week, but the week before that. And I decided to hang out with my buddy Will, Mr. Steel Valley Vapors, and stay at his house for a week and a half. So that following weekend, we flew down to Houston, Texas, spent the weekend down there, hang out with some friends, flew back Sunday, and then I spent the entire week back at Will's house, just partying, hanging out, just having a good time. Feel nice and refreshed after that week and a half little vacation I had. But now we're back to the grind. I'm ready to get back to drinking some beers and reviewing some stuff for you guys. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be taking a look at a beer from a brewery. I've had a couple stuff from them before, back before I started doing reviews and stuff, back when I started experimenting with more craft beer and all that stuff, purchasing things that with can arts that looked interesting. And haven't really had much from these guys lately, but my dad was over at the brewery since he was working in Indiana, so he stopped over there and picked this one up because we both like double IPAs, and that's exactly what I got for you guys today, because we're taking a look at the King Reaper from 18th Street Brewery over in Hammond, Indiana. And just, I think that can art is pretty sick. Has that kind of king kind of situation, like on a deck of cards, so it's that king on there upside down. I really like the upside down, I like the Grim Reaper kind of look on there. But yeah, it's really, really cool. So I'm pretty excited about this one. And another thing that's pretty exciting about this is I have no idea what's in it. I couldn't find a description anywhere about it. Can't find anything anywhere where it would tell you what kind of hops are in here. So we're going to be going in completely blind on this one, which is kind of a little bit more exciting than knowing what's in it already. Because it kind of gets me to kind of break down what I think the flavors are in this. Maybe thinking of what kind of hops are in there. In my opinion, I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, I'm repping a good friend of mine. If you haven't seen the past month or two ago, I got some beers in from a good friend over in Houston, Texas, Mr. New Texican Brewing. He's a home brewer that decided to send me some of his stuff. He's working on opening up a brewery, so I reached out to him, wanted to review some of his stuff, so he sent me 4 beers, did reviews on those, and he decided to be generous enough to send me out a care package after I reviewed all his beers. And he got some cool stuff for me. Obviously, we got the New Texican t-shirt right here, which is comfortable as fuck, which is really nice. And we're going to be drinking this beer, which this is available now. If you want to order beer from him, you can also always buy a glass as well, because we got a New Texican pint glass we're going to be drinking out of today. So I'm pretty damn excited to use this guy along with drinking this beer, because I haven't had this one. I've had a couple beers from 18th Street. So let's see. Before we do that, before we crack this guy open, let's see what 18th Street is all about. They have a little story. It's pretty simple on a story of like the history of this brewery. So 18th Street Brewery was founded as a home brewery by Drew Fox in 2010. He's the head brewer, and after years of hands-on learning and exploration, 18th Street Brewery became an official with the release of the Sinister Double IPA in 2013. Shortly after the Sinister release, they opened up a 3,200 square foot brew pub in an old dry cleaner building, which I think was pretty cool, in Gary, Indiana. Quickly outgrowing that space, they purchased a 32,000 square foot warehouse in Hammond, Indiana, where their Hammond location now houses their production, packaging, and barreling program, and a tap room and a full-service kitchen. And their original Gary, Indiana location now houses a small 10-barrel open fermentation system, as well as a tap room, craft cocktail bar, and kitchen. So they've kind of expanded all around the kind of Indiana area, which I think is really cool. So they just want to share their love of beer, share their love of good food. They consider themselves the second largest brewery in Northwest Indiana. Obviously, in my opinion, I would say the biggest when it comes to the Northwest Indiana would probably be Three Floyds. So, and they have all kinds of beers ranging from saisons, double IPAs, milk stouts, pilsners, and lagers. So they have beer for pretty much everybody out there, which I think is great. And they love their jobs, they love their beer, and they just love what they do, which me as somebody who kind of is in that same profession, yeah, I can appreciate that 100%. So, and I think they have 3 locations, if I remember correctly. Of course, I told you they have their Hammond location, which is their brew pub, which is open from Monday through Saturday, and then Sundays. And then their Gary location, which is open from like Tuesdays to Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and they're closed on Mondays. And then they actually have a location in Indianapolis, if you're ever down in that area, which is, they're open from, 7 days a week, which I think is really cool. So they have 3 locations available to you guys if you're ever out in the area. It looks like their food and their kitchens look absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I believe this one actually is available in one location. I believe it's in the Hammond location I saw it. Let me look correctly. Yep, so the King Reaper is available in their Hammond location if you're over in Hammond, Indiana. Or maybe, who knows, it might be in Indianapolis too. Let's see. That doesn't see anything on there. But I believe it's, let's see, the Gary location. Nope, doesn't show anything on the Gary location if it's available there. But that's fine. Well, let's get into this beer because I'm excited. This one's an 8.2% ABV, double dry hop, double IPA, which obviously you all know I'm a hop head, so when it comes to IPAs, right up my fucking alley. Right up my damn alley. So I'm pretty excited to drink this one. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what the hell is going on with this thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be hazy or not. It might be a little hazy. I'm expecting to have a nice like golden color to it. Yep, definitely getting a nice hoppiness to there. Not really much of a citrusy note for me. Definitely getting like a Yule melon kind of. Definitely like a honeydew Yule melon kind of smell. Maybe a little of like a hoppy dankness coming through. So I'm expecting with it being a double IPA, of course the hoppy notes are going to come forward a little bit more predominantly. There might be a slight haziness, of course. I don't know, with it being an 8.2. You might get a little bit of booziness, but probably not much. But overall, I'm expecting this to be a nice, refreshing, hoppy IPA. So let's give this guy a pour and see what this guy's like on the pour. Okay, so this guy is hazy. A little bit hazy. Definitely has a nice head to it coming off. Yeah, a little bit of a head. Holy crap. A lot of carbonation coming from this guy. But that's okay. Has a nice fluffy white head on there. For now, I know my pour was a little crappy on that. But yeah, it's a nice kind of almost darker and like an orangish color. Kind of reminds me of like a mango and color, mango-y color to it. I wouldn't say quite orange juicy. But yeah, still getting a lot of those like honeydew, Yule melon kind of notes on the front, on the nose. So it makes me think there could be, which one's the ones with like more melony kind of flavors in there? Might be some citrus, I don't know, maybe some tropical notes. I don't know. But without further ado, let's drink through this head like a man and give this guy a try. So, cheers everybody. It's good to be back, and a happy Monday to you all. Okay. Let's get a little bit more in there so I can start tasting this a little bit more. Of course, with my frickin' beard, I got a little frickin' mustache, beard hair in there. But that's okay, I got that out. But yeah, right off the bat, definitely getting kind of like a little bit more tropically flavors. Still getting that heavy like melon, Yule melon kind of hoppy taste to it. Definitely maybe a little bit more of like, I'm guessing there's also like a mango-y kind of thing in there. Definitely like a pillowy, creamy mouthfeel to it. Not really oily in mouthfeel at all. Yeah, and it's pretty damn delicious. There's a slight booziness in it, but it's not to the point where it's like too boozy. It's definitely really refreshing. Definitely bringing out a lot more of those sweeter notes that the hops bring off as well. Definitely has like a nice kind of malty backbone to it, which is pretty damn delicious. But overall, yeah, this is solid. Really, really solid. Holy crap. So, let's look on Untapped here, because before I start going through the ratings on this one and what the rating is in, let's see what they say now that I've had a sip of this thing. Kind of figuring out if you're not able to get over to any of the 3 locations over in Indiana and you want to try something possibly similar to this. Well, Untapped is a really cool thing to where they kind of put what they would say similar beers are to this one, and I'm going to take a look at them and see which one would probably be the best one to kind of do it for. So, first one we got is the Beezer from Old Irving Brewing Company, which Old Irving makes a lot of fantastic beers, and their Beezer line, when it comes to their 3 IPAs they do with the Beezer, the Double Beezer, and the Triple Beezer, are some of my favorite local IPAs I've ever had before. So, let's see. We got one from Gizmo Brewworks called Orange AF. Then we got one from Nantahala Brewing Company called the Hazy Mountain IPA. And then Swing Bridge Brewing Company called the Blood Orange IPA. And then one from River North Brewery called the 2021 Project First Ascent 2. Okay, so I think I've had that one. That's a 10.9. But to be honest here, when it comes to similar beers, I'm going to think of, honestly, most similar to one you're probably going to get with nice kind of like citrus. A little bit of citrusy, a little bit tropical, little slight melony flavors in there. Probably be the Beezer. The Beezer is definitely going to be a nice, sessionable, easy drinker that if you're looking for a nice kind of hazy IPA that just gives you a full of hoppy flavors that just makes overall a great experience, the Beezer is probably going to be the one I'm going to choose off all of those. I haven't really had any other ones. I've had plenty of the Beezer before, so I definitely know that this one would probably be in that same realm as that one. But overall, yeah, this is pretty fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Loving the can art, loving the flavors. I'm getting those, definitely getting more of those tropical flavors coming through now. Really had only more of that kind of melon, honeydew kind of thing on the nose, to where right on the mouth you get a pillowy mouthfeel along with that kind of getting those like mango-y, kind of pineapple-y tropical fruit flavors coming through that the hops produce. So overall, absolutely fantastic. Not really much of a booziness, but you definitely know you're having a double IPA at this one for sure, which I enjoy. I like when breweries kind of come out and you know you're drinking more of a hoppy beer, and these guys kind of stayed true with what they wanted out of this one, and I think they did a fantastic job. So, looking back here on Untapped and seeing what we got here for ratings on this one. So this one, okay, with over 5,387 ratings, with it being the 8.3% ABV, no IBU rating on this one. This one has an average rating of 4.04 out of 5, which is pretty damn good for over 5,000 ratings. It's definitely, a lot of people have had this one, and a lot of people have enjoyed it, that's for damn sure. So, before I look at the global ratings, I always like to see if people that I know have checked this one in. Of course, since my dad's the one that purchased this, my dad got it for us, so he checked it in, gave it a 4 out of 5, which is really good. And then, let's see, a buddy named Keith, I have it on tap, gave it a 4.25 out of 5. And then my uncle just checked it in, didn't give a rating, because he usually doesn't do ratings where his check-ins, which I kind of give him crap for it time and time again, but that's okay. So, let's see what the global kind of rating is. So, this person named Liam checked it in at the Casual Pint in Charlotte, which is, okay, so you can get this one at Charlotte, North Carolina. That's cool. And he gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Let's see. This guy gave it a 4 out of 5. Purchased at the World of Beer, which is a beer kind of shopping plaza, like a beer bar over in, what was it, Pennsylvania, I think. Yeah. Yeah, in Exton, Pennsylvania, which is really cool. So now you'll be able to see something from Indiana kind of going its way a little bit east a little bit, from going from North Carolina all the way to Pennsylvania. Let's see what we got here. I have no idea what this location is called, because it's Antwerpen, I guess. I don't know if that's what country that's in. Probably Europe or something like that. But this guy said amazing beer, a bunch of emojis, and gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Let's see, we got another 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3.75 out of 5. Let's see, 4.5 out of 5. Purchased at the A1 Beer Barn over in Brookhaven, Pennsylvania. Saying really clean and crisp, which, yeah, I would say it's pretty clean. Definitely has a lot of, like, I wouldn't say there's crisp flavors in this, but there's depths of flavor with this one. Let's see, this guy gave it a 4.25, another 4.5, another 4. Another 4. Purchased at Total Wine, which this one is in the Concord, North Carolina area. So seeing this one available at Total Wine is pretty cool as well, because I know that's kind of, once you start going a little bit east and kind of stick around there, Total Wine's all over the place when it comes to going to the West Coast, East Coast, Midwest. You kind of have it all over the place. I don't really get Total Wines by me. By me, our version is kind of called Binny's Beverage Depot, which is kind of the Midwest kind of version of this. But overall, the ratings are pretty damn solid on this one. I would say a lot of people are enjoying it, which is making me happy because I'm really enjoying it. So, looking here, let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings. Okay, so that's in Belgium, Ian. Nice to know. Okay. So, hey, and having this stuff be over in Belgium when it's an Indiana brewery, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love seeing U.S. breweries kind of showing up in other countries and having this kind of stuff be available other places for the try. Like when you tried the Gunner's Daughter, which I think was really cool because it's a beer I got that's a U.S. brewery that you're able to get where you live, which I think is pretty badass. So let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this one. So let's look at can art. Yeah, I absolutely love this can art. I love how they did like the king kind of card on there with the Grim Reaper on there. I think that's really cool. I would honestly buy a deck of cards if this was like the king and maybe having like this kind of skeletal kind of Grim Reaper kind of style for the rest of the deck. And of course, the little details they put into the Grim Reaper. Of course, you have the hops on the top. And you kind of, let's see here, you got like a, instead of like the numbers, you kind of have like a carve into like stone or something like that, where it's like a 4 and then the line through it if you're telling numbers and all that stuff. The scythe has blood on it. It's like going through his own skull and it's like bleeding everything. So I really like the detail they put on there. Of course, the 18th Street Brewery logo is really cool because that's like that skull with 4 eyes in it. The 4 eye holes, which I think is really cool. And yeah, the font they used on the Grim Reaper thing, which I think is kind of that like metal-y kind of font almost. It's not really like full like death metal or black metal font, but it definitely has like that kind of harder music kind of font to it. So I would not be surprised if these guys like listening to heavier music, to be honest. So, yeah, can art's really solid. One thing I would have done was probably... I'm not really going to give it, like, situations to where they didn't take up this kind of can art, because they have little accents in the background, the kind of the diamonds in the back, and of course around the card they have the lines going through it. So they, instead of taking up the entire can with art, they kind of made little accents to kind of pop out a little bit more to kind of take up that blank space, so it's not just black, which I can appreciate. So I'm going to give this one a solid 4.5 out of 5 for can art. I'm a really big fan of this one. I think this might be actually one of the can arts that we're going to save and kind of put in our portfolio of really cool can arts that we've collected over the years. So, let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at 18th Street Brewery, would I get another one? Absolutely. I love the flavors in this. I love the hoppy just slap in the face you get. I love how you kind of get like a melony, kind of Yule melon kind of note on the nose, but then when you taste it, it's just full of like mango, tropical, pineapple kind of hoppy flavors in there. Definitely has a nice kind of smooth, pillowy mouthfeel. The head's kind of pillowy soft as well when you're drinking through that. So overall, really, really solid beer. If you guys can get your hands on this one, I would definitely recommend it for sure. And let's see. What's my final rating on this one going to be? I mean, there's not really many cons of what I dislike about this. One thing I probably could have saved, like for me, when I was getting kind of like those honeydew kind of Yule melon kind of notes on the smell, I would have liked to maybe taste that a little bit more, but definitely getting a lot of those like creamy kind of pineapple, mango kind of flavors on the mouth, and just when as you're drinking it, I would maybe had like a slight little melony kind of thing, maybe like a bitter melon kind of end to kind of balance out the sweetness that the hops that's giving off the mango and the tropical fruit flavors that are giving would kind of cut it off right at a certain point, kind of put in kind of like a sharp hoppiness at the end, which I think would have been nice. So I think I'm going to give this one a solid 8.25 out of 10. Really good. I'm almost leaning on the 8.5, but 8.25 is where I'm going to stay with this one. Really, really solid. Definitely would recommend it if you can get your hands on this. Of course, it's on tap at their Hammond location, I believe, right now. So if you're in the Indiana area and want to try this one, you can go over to their brew pub on North Oakley Avenue in Hammond, Indiana, and you can get this possibly. I believe this is on tap over there, so you can have it fresh out of the tap, fresh from the kegs, because that's always some of the best stuff. And they have a bunch of stuff over there available right now. So they got let's see, another pale ale, a bunch of hazies, some breakfast stouts, farmhouse ales, saison, a lager, imperial IPA, another stout. They even have a fruited Berliner Weiss, a crushed marshmallow, raspberry sea salt cacao nib fruited sour, which absolutely sounds fantastic. I would love to try that. So yeah, they have a bunch of stuff over there that just seems absolutely delicious. So if you want to head over to the Hammond location, give yourself a little bit of time, go over there, have a beer, maybe get some food, and just enjoy your time over there. Have this beer. I think you'll really enjoy it. But other than that, that is pretty much it what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody for coming to hang out with my first review back in like a week and a half. I'm glad to be back home, even though I had a blast over in Ohio / Pennsylvania / West Virginia / Texas, because I was all over the day. I was in like 4 different states within a week and a half, and I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. Did so much. Went to a couple breweries. It was just a really, really fun time. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So if you like what you see, if you're new to the channel, this is your first review watching, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. It'll help me out a lot. Also, if you're a regular and you're just coming to tune in, just like to hear me talk about beer and possibly having a beer while I'm drinking one, make sure to hit that like button down below. It helped me out a lot as well. And if you're looking to see kind of a social media aspect of beer drinking, possibly seeing some check-ins from you guys, or maybe seeing check-ins from me and where I purchased this stuff and all that kind of stuff, get yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform. You can see people like me, Ian, Kentucky, Duchess is on there, Not the Real Dry Butler's on there. I believe we just got Ryan from Ohio, part of the Steel Valley crew over there, effing Delight, on Untapped, and just it's a really, really fun time. It's just a really, really cool kind of platform to where you could check in beers, get badges, kind of see where people purchase the stuff, and you can it's a really cool thing where you can kind of go on there and see what's popular in your area as well. So if you're in a specific area and you want to see what craft beer is popular by you and see where you can pick it up, Untapped has the availability to do that. So really, really cool platform. So If you want to get to my profile, shoot me a friend request. My link is down in the description below for you guys. Also, let's see. I think that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for coming in. Hope you guys had a great day. Fantastic weekend. I know I'm not gonna have a review tomorrow because I gotta go into work. We're kegging some beers, getting ready for Halloween. We have a special Halloween beer that we're doing over at the brewery, so we're getting that kegged and ready to go. So that will be available by Halloween. But other than that, that is pretty much it, everybody. So thank you again for tuning in. You guys are awesome, and I'm gonna say it like I always say before we get the hell out of here. If you're gonna drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time, people. Cheers.